My sister kicked us out of her house and is suing me just because we got rid of her dogs. I'm a monster for protecting my son. That's the first thing I thought when Anna screamed at me, when my parents defended me without knowing the whole story, and when Alex clung to me trembling, with the red bite mark still visible on his leg. But let's go back. I arrived at my sister's house with 2 suitcases, my son asleep in the back seat, and a knot in my lower back. Nobody was waiting for me. Not a message, not a note, nothing. But of course, what else could I expect from Anna? Always so busy, so successful. She was on a business trip, as if that were more important than spending Christmas with family. I was the one who offered to organize everything because someone has to take charge. Someone has to bring order, clean the house, think of others. As always. The house, by the way, looked like a magazine showroom, cold, excessive, filled with minimalist decorations that screamed, "Don't touch." Not a single photo of Alex in the frames, just Anna smiling with her dogs. 3 in total. 3. Who needs 3 dogs? For her, those animals were everything. My furry children, she used to say. It always seemed like an exaggeration to me, an elegant way to avoid real relationships. When I settled in, I noticed the dogs didn't want me around. They barked if I got too close to the kitchen. They blocked me when I tried to move the furniture for dinner and completely ignored me when I spoke to them. But well, that didn't surprise me. Dogs absorb their owner's energy. No. Alex, like any child, wanted to play with them. I thought it was fine. Let him be entertained while I cleaned. The first day everything was fine until they bit him. It wasn't serious, but it left a mark on his leg. He cried, of course, and I froze. I tried to stay calm. I didn't want to make a scene. I put ice on it, hugged him, told him it would pass. Inside, I was boiling. That night I went up to the dogs and yelled at them. One tried to growl at me. I hit it with a broom. Not hard, just so they understood who was in charge. I wasn't going to allow anyone or anything to hurt my son. The next day, Alex tried again to get close and they bit him again. This time harder. No more excuses. I took him to the hospital. Nothing serious, thank God. But while waiting in the lobby, it all became clear. Anna had chosen her dogs over everything. Children, visitors, family, it didn't matter. Her house was her kingdom, and those animals her guardians. And no matter how hard I tried, I was never going to be safe there. So I made a decision. I couldn't keep waiting for Anna to come back. I wasn't going to risk Alex or live with that anxiety. I called animal control. I told them to come for the dogs, that they were aggressive, that I couldn't have them in the house. I asked them to take the necessary measures. I didn't cry. My voice didn't tremble. I know people will judge me. I can already hear them, how could you? They were her dogs. But I did what I had to do. Nobody else was going to do it. And if Anna gets upset, then let her. Real life isn't an Instagram story with Christmas filters. It's harsh. And when you have to choose between your sister's feelings or your child's safety, the choice is clear. I went back home after they took them. Alex was already asleep, and I sat down to finish organizing dinner. I put the tablecloth I brought from home, arranged the silverware, fixed the tree, and for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. Not because I liked what I did, not because it was easy, but because I knew I acted responsibly. Because if something worse had happened to Alex, I would never have forgiven myself. And Anna, surely, wouldn't either. That night I couldn't sleep. Not from guilt, but from nerves, because of what was coming next, because I knew when she came back and didn't find her beloved dogs, she was going to hate me. But you know what? I'd rather that than her calling me from the ER with my nephew bleeding. I'd rather be the villain in her story than the mother who didn't protect her son. So yes, I called animal control. I gave the order, and I would do it again. The house was ready. Impeccable, sparkling. Every detail of the menu, the table arrangements, the gifts, everything in place. I did it alone, without help, as always. If Anna had been here, she probably would have hired a chef, a decorator, and a nanny. Not me. I did it with my hands, with effort, because that's what a real woman does. She rolls up her sleeves and solves problems. Our parents arrived around 6. My mom hugged me with her typical tone of surprise. The house looks so beautiful. I can't believe everything you did. Of course you can't, I thought. Nobody believes I can hold the family together because they're used to Anna being the one who shines. But not this time. This time it was my night. Alex was behaving well, playing on his tablet while the adults talked. I tried to stay calm, though the silence drilled into me. I said nothing about the dogs. I didn't want to ruin the evening. Not yet. At 7:30 Anna arrived. She walked in unannounced with her rolling suitcase and her expensive perfume filling the air. As soon as she crossed the door, she didn't even greet. "Where are my dogs?" Just like that, without a hello, without a "everything looks nice." Just that phrase. I approached her without losing my composure. "They're not here," I said. "We had an incident. Alex got hurt." Anna frowned. "What kind of incident?" "The dogs bit him twice. I took him to the hospital. I couldn't wait. I had to make a decision." She dropped her suitcase with a thud. "What did you do, Clara?" I took a deep breath. I called animal control. I asked them to take the dogs and evaluate them. "You gave them away? You took them out of my house without asking me? Have you gone insane?" "They weren't fine," I insisted. "They were aggressive. They didn't know how to behave around a child. It was only a matter of time before something worse happened." Anna put her hands on her face. "They were my dogs, my family. And Alex is my son," I replied without hesitation. "And while I'm here, he is my priority." That's when everything exploded. Anna screamed, cried, accused me of invading her home, of being abusive, of doing all this out of resentment. She said she had expected me to act like a sister, not like an intruder. My parents tried to calm her down, but for the first time, my dad defended me. "Anna, the dogs bit your nephew. You can't expect Clara to do nothing." That enraged her even more. "Of course, defend her as always. I'm the victim here," she spat, "but I'm the one who comes home and finds out her dogs were thrown out like garbage." "I didn't throw them out," I replied. "I acted out of necessity, not out of pleasure. I did what any responsible mother would do." Anna took a deep breath. She looked at me as if I were a stranger. "I want you out of my house. You and your savior's dinner. And you too as well," she told our parents. "If you agree with this, then leave too." My mom tried to reason with her, but Anna was beyond herself. She threw us all out as if we were pests. I took Alex's hand. He only whispered, "Why is Aunt so mad?" I told him sometimes adults fight, but everything would be fine. I lied. I knew it. Everything was about to break. As we walked out, I paused for a second at the door. I looked back at the house I had left perfect for dinner. I thought about the hours of work, the effort, how much I wanted to do something nice for everyone. And yet, all I got was hatred, judgment, rejection. But I don't regret it. If protecting my son makes me a villain, then I guess it's time to get used to the role. The first days after dinner were silent. Unfairly silent. Nobody called, nobody asked how Alex was. Nobody thanked me for making a hard decision. Everything I had done to protect him seemed erased, as if the only thing that mattered were those damn dogs. I tried calling her, not to apologize, but to explain, because Anna was always the kind of person who gets offended before understanding. And I didn't want this to turn into a family scandal. "Look, I know you're angry," I said when she finally answered, but I want you to understand I did it for all of us, for you, for me, for Alex. Silence. Then her sharp voice, seriously? You're justifying this? Yes, because I saved you from a legal problem. Imagine if instead of Alex, it had been a neighbor's child, a lawsuit, a scandal on social media. Clara, she said, and that pause hurt more than a scream. You have no idea what you did. Of course I do. I did what you didn't have the courage to do. Set boundaries. Prioritize. You didn't act out of love, Clara. You acted out of control. It's always been like that. You can't stand not having the spotlight. Are you listening to yourself? Are you really turning this into a story about your little sister's traumas? No. I'm turning it into a story of justice. And get ready, because you're going to pay. And she hung up. I thought she was exaggerating. Anna has that soap opera drama in her blood. She always yells more than she acts. So I forgot about it. I focused on my son, on my life. Tried to move on. 2 weeks later, a certified letter arrived. I opened it thinking it was just another notice. It was a lawsuit. For negligence, animal abuse, misappropriation of private property. I froze. I had to read it 3 times to understand. Anna was suing me. I ran to my room. Sat on the bed trembling. I wanted to cry, but something inside resisted. It wasn't sadness, it was rage. A mix of disbelief and fury. How can you be so cruel? I texted her. I wasn't going to call again. Just wrote, are you really going to break the family over some dead dogs? Yes, dead. Because they were gone, and even though she didn't tell me directly, I knew. I sensed it from her silence. I had felt it since the night she kicked us out. She never replied, just left me on scene. And then the whispers began. A friend stopped answering me. Another texted me saying it was better if we didn't see each other for a while. My aunt unfollowed me on Instagram. I started noticing indirect posts, pictures of dogs with captions like, whoever doesn't love animals doesn't love anyone. They were turning me into the villain. Into the witch who sacrificed her sister's dogs out of whim. Nobody talked about Alex. Nobody asked how he was, as if the injured child mattered less than 3 spoiled animals. But the worst was when I saw the photos. Anna had posted images of one of the dogs injured, bandaged, in some clinic, with a long dramatic paragraph saying he was betrayed by someone who claimed to be family, that there are decisions that kill even without a knife. The comments were full of broken hearts, insults at me. What kind of person would do that? She deserves to be alone. Poor things. I didn't reply. I couldn't. Because if I said anything, it would just fuel the fire. Still, I don't understand. I don't understand why everyone is making me out to be a monster. I didn't do it out of hatred, not out of selfishness. I did it because no one else had the courage to. Anna was blind, clinging to her fantasy of a perfect family with dogs instead of children. I tried to help her. I gave her a way out. But no. She preferred to turn this story into her personal crusade. And the worst is that now I'm the villain. The selfish one. The one who ruined Christmas. The one who destroyed the family, when all I wanted was to save it. Save us. I haven't slept well since the lawsuit came. I wake up in the middle of the night, sweating, mentally replaying everything I said, every step I took. Sometimes I convince myself I did the right thing, sometimes I hate myself, but what hurts the most is that I don't know who I am in this story. Am I the mother who protected her son, or the monster everyone says I am? I try to cling to logic. The dogs bit Alex twice. What mother wouldn't act? But people don't want logic. They want fairy tales with brave pets. They want simple emotions. And apparently, I'm the villain who broke the spell. Online, I can't stop seeing indirects. A former coworker shared a story with her dog hugging a stuffed animal and the phrase, "Some will never understand what it means to love unconditionally." She didn't name me, but I knew it was for me. Everyone knew. In my neighborhood, people avoid me. At the supermarket, I feel their side glances. A mother from Alex's school whispered to me, "Don't worry, I understand. Dogs can be a problem sometimes." She said it as if she were passing me drugs, with guilt and shame, because even those who understand me don't dare say it aloud. And Anna continues with her circus. She's posted more photos. One of the latest showed Marte, the only one who survived, wrapped in blankets with an injured paw, and the caption, "She still waits for her family to come back for her." As if I had abandoned her in a dumpster. As if I hadn't tried to find them a place with space and freedom. My son Alex asked me the other day why his aunt doesn't talk to him anymore. "Is she mad about the doggies?" he said with that innocence that breaks you inside. "Yes, honey, but it's not your fault." She's confused. She doesn't see what's most important. And while he fell asleep in my arms, I thought, what will he remember when he grows up? That his mother protected him or that she made his aunt hate him? I feel alone. I moved back with my parents for a while. Not out of comfort, but emotional necessity. Because after Anna kicked us out and my social circle crumbled, I didn't have much left. My mom welcomes me with understanding but no words. My dad barely looks me in the eye. It's not hatred, it's disappointment, exhaustion. And on top of that, the hearing is coming up. I can't breathe when I think about it. I know there's no way to win this. Even if they don't convict me legally, I've already lost socially. My name is stained. I'm the cousin nobody wants to invite. The toxic ex-girlfriend. The woman who had her sister's dogs killed. It doesn't matter that it wasn't like that. It doesn't matter that I had a reason. To everyone, I'm a monster. I've mentally replayed childhood scenes with Anna. How she got the attention, the applause, the congratulations. She was always the brilliant one, the talented one, the award winner. I was the one who organized things, who solved problems, who set the table. But nobody remembered my name when they left the house. It was never a competition until she made me feel like I had no place. Her house, her rules, her dogs, her perfect world. And me, just a temporary guest. A nuisance. Maybe that's what led me to make the decision on my own. Not just to protect Alex, but to prove I could also take control, that I could also set limits. But it cost me dearly. Anna refuses to talk to me. She blocked me everywhere. I don't know if she really wants to take me to court to punish me, or just to crush me one last time. The only thing I'm sure of is that I don't regret wanting a different future. Maybe the mistake was thinking someone else would understand. Sometimes I reread the messages people left me online. There are insults, yes, but also uncomfortable truths. If you didn't want dogs, you should have found someone who didn't have them. Animals aren't furniture you can give away when they get in the way. Love can't be imposed, it's negotiated. Maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't have forced a life that wasn't mine. Maybe I thought he would change for me. Maybe I underestimated what those animals meant to him. But also, how many times does a woman have to adapt to other people's lives? I adapted for months. I cleaned, stayed silent, tolerated. I never asked her to choose, just to consider a change. And she chose her dogs. Now I wonder if she ever chose me. The hearing is in a week. My hands tremble as I write this. I have a lawyer, of course, a cousin who offered to help. But no defense can repair the emotional damage, the shame, the rage, the rejection. None of that gets resolved with paperwork. I've thought about sending her a letter, not to apologize, because I already did, but to close this chapter. But every time I try to write it, the anger comes back. And I don't want to be the one begging again. I already did that. I already pleaded. No more. This is my last update. Maybe many won't agree with what I did. Maybe they'll think I deserve every punishment, every insult, every sleepless night. But I still believe I did the right thing. I didn't do it out of hatred. I didn't do it out of revenge. I did it because I loved too much, because I believed that with time they would understand, because I put my son above everything else. And if that makes me the villain of this story, then I hope someday someone will have the courage to tell it in full.